Chapter 13. Tripoint Park was alive with activity. The divided park was no longer a pretty garden. Barbed wire lay stretched across the ground, marking the Higaran and Partogan borders. Human space rangers patrolled their own side of the line. All three embassies were fortified. Defense field generators, able to deflect magnetic weapons fire at a moment's notice, encircled the Partogan embassy. 2 automated sentry guns were positioned on the roof of the Higaran structure, while military androids augmented human patrols. To make matters worse, the human side of the border was alive with protesters. Higara's decision to construct a dividing wall through the city was very unpopular with certain segments of the human population. Americans, Germans, Belarusians, Poles, Mexicans, and Koreans staged an intense anti-wall protest, chanting slogans such as "Tear down this wall!" and "Higara is the new evil empire!" and "Ich bin ein Berliner!" Mina and Kiri approached the park from the Partogan side of the border. The Partogan embassy complex was closed and under guard, but they did not care. The couple wanted the building next door. They parked their car down the street from the Iraqi Emporium and traveled the rest of the way on foot. Kiri wore a backpack. Concealed under a false flap was the dismantled grappling hook launcher. Kiri and Mina were both disguised. They were dressed up as construction workers, complete with safety vests and protective gear. Concealed under Mina's outfit was the plasma pistol. She was able to get away with this by disguising herself as a man, wearing bulky clothes and a wide-brimmed safety helmet to cover up her pointy ears. With no time to prepare false ID cards, the infiltration would be carried out by sheer chutzpah. Carrying themselves as though they had all the power in the world, Mina and Kiri approached the construction site. Lucky for them, it was late in the evening and all of the workers had gone home for the night. A lone security guard was patrolling the perimeter, a young Levakian huntress. When she saw the couple coming, the huntress peered around nervously as though she was unsure what to do. She fumbled at her slug thrower rifle before Kiri held up a hand. "We're from the Interior Ministry," he said in a commanding voice. "Don't even start, kid. This is a surprise safety inspection." "Point that thing in a safe direction," Mina snapped, causing the Levakian to fumble her weapon a second time. "Unlock the Emporium. We're here to inspect the premises, and we're not in the mood to play games." "Yes, ma'am," the Levakian mewed. In seconds, they were inside. Mina and Kiri took just a few steps inside the barren Emporium when the huntress suddenly said, "Please forgive me. I'll contact my superior right away." The 2 fugitives whipped around, but it was too late. The huntress was already dashing towards the embassy, paws thudding loudly on the pavement. Mina and Kiri looked at each other. "Run!" Mina yelled. The 2 burst into a sprint as an alarm sounded. They found a staircase and started to climb. Mina drew the plasma pistol. Down at the landing, a clatter of footsteps and loud yelling could be heard. "Get inside the embassy. That's all we have to do," Mina said to herself. Up to the 2nd floor, Kiri and Mina were both winded. 3rd floor, they were panting. 4th floor, the couple was almost totally exhausted. Mina passed the backpack to Kiri as they exited the stairwell. The top floor of the Emporium was barren and unfurnished. The entire south face of the building was made up of massive floor-to-ceiling windows that granted wonderful views of Tripoint Park, except for a single point to the far right of Mina and Kiri. Here, in one far corner of the building, the facade of the human embassy loomed large. There was just 20 feet between the buildings. Kiri opened the backpack and started preparing the grappling hook launcher. Mina raised her plasma pistol and fired once, shattering the glass window. At once, voices shouted from the stairwell, "Stop, or we'll shoot!" It was now or never. Kiri aimed the grappling hook launcher out of the window and aimed it upwards. He pressed the trigger, and the device made a noise like a gunshot. The hook, attached to a thick cable, sailed into the air and latched itself onto the roof of the embassy. A group of human space rangers on the rooftop jumped at the noise, alarmed. Kiri grabbed the cable and started to secure it around himself. At the same moment, the clatter of footsteps on the stairwell reached a pitch that could no longer be ignored. Mina turned around and fired her plasma pistol into the stairwell. Nobody was there yet. She was just trying to stop them advancing any further. "I can't hold these guys forever," Mina called out. "We're running out of time." "Almost there," Kiri replied. He tied the cable around his waist and double-checked his knots. Meanwhile, the UN soldiers on the other side of the border were now aware of what was happening. Alerted to the sounds of gunfire, the troops on the rooftop had spotted Kiri and were aiming their rifles at him. "Are you out of your mind?" a human yelled. "What the hell are you doing?" One of the Space Rangers tried to grab the grappling hook and throw it away from the building, but a second human stopped him. Kiri did not have time to look and see, but he was certain the person who saved the grappling hook was not wearing a UN military uniform. "Running out of ammo!" Mina screamed. "They're coming through!" She fired her last few rounds and then dropped the pistol. Mina ran to Kiri and wrapped herself around him. Holding onto Kiri tightly, Mina briefly kissed him on the cheek and said, "Good luck." Kiri pulled the rope tight and jumped. Kiri and Mina sailed through the dark night sky. The air around them popped and snapped as a Hegaran sentry gun took a few pot shots at the fugitives. Soldiers and civilians alike saw the fugitives, pointing and screaming. Kiri hit the embassy wall feet first and held fast, looking as though he was standing upright on the building exterior. Then the Hegaran sentry gun fired another salvo. Kiri felt a painful thud as a Gauss slug struck him in the leg. The impact caused Kiri to let go of the cable, but the grappling hook was suddenly irrelevant as another Gauss slug severed the cable itself. Mina and Kiri fell 2 stories and crashed to the ground, coming to rest about 20 feet away from the human embassy's ceremonial entrance. Several Space Rangers emerged and surrounded the fugitives, pointing their weapons at them. "Aliens, you are on UN soil!" one of the troops started to say. "My name is Mina Manan, Hegaran MCS," Mina cried out. "I am requesting political asylum on Earth, and so is my partner. He's hurt. Please help us." "Oh, Mina, I love you," Kiri gasped before he passed out.